Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of the Johnny R Podcast. My name is John Roberts, enrolled member of the Red Lake Band of Chippewa Indians in northern Minnesota, one of only two closed reservations in the United States. And we celebrated our Independence Day Friday, July 6th. But if you want to look up what that means, go to my Twitter page at the Johnny R, or even my Facebook. I think there's a link. But you got to be my friend on Facebook. I didn't put it on my comedy page or my podcast page. Though I should. I should do that. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. But, like I said, it's our Independence weekend. There's a big powwow up here. Probably one of the best powwows in the country going on this weekend, which I haven't made it to yet because it was like 84 degrees and that's way too hot for me because I'm a large gentleman and it's kind of hard for me to be comfortable in a hot environment because of my girth, my size. Though I'm short, I am quite heavy, but anyway. But yeah, nothing new. Well, we had a storm here a couple weeks ago. Knocked down all the trees. Well, not all the trees, but quite a few trees. We got trapped. We got trapped in our in our yard because we had about 4 or 5 trees down, and we had a big tree that just missed our house, and we had to. Well, actually, my nephews come over and helped us with that. Chopped the trees down bit by bit, piece by piece, to try and get my yard in order, which there's still a lot of work to do, but we'll get there. And the thing about that, a miracle happened during that storm because my riding lawnmower was out below that tree, and somehow my lawnmower was placed just right, because everywhere around my lawnmower, the tree took everything out except that spot. So, lucky to have my lawnmower. And we also went, I think it was about 15 hours without electricity, which was kind of not as bad as I thought it was going to be, because we went all day without water. We had just enough bottled water to get us to the evening time, because the lights went out about 5 o'clock Friday morning. And they came back on a little after 8 o'clock Friday evening. And I was actually on a supply run at the time to pick up some water and flashlights and batteries and some food when they called me and told me the lights were back on. So we survived. We survived that somehow. And, the wife, she somehow made a meal, boiling water, and over a stove, not a stove, but over a wood fire. So that was pretty cool. It's pretty impressive to watch her work like that, because I wouldn't have known how to do that. Well, I know how to make a fire, but, I wouldn't have the smarts to try and throw some food together over that fire. But we survived, all, us and the kids. It was an eye-opening experience because, I don't think we've ever gone that long without electricity. And if it comes down to it again, I don't know how you could prepare for something like that. Even though our people have done that, our ancestors did that for years. So, I don't know, we got a lot of work to do if we want to survive the apocalypse, or at least another power outage. The whole res was without power for at least 15 hours, and some places were without power for a few days. So we were lucky. We were lucky where we were. So, but it was just an eye-opening experience. It just shows that we need to better prepare ourselves for stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna do on payday. Did we get paid this week? Shit, yeah, we did get paid this week, so I don't know. we'll have to figure something out if something happens again. So maybe I'll invest in gold or Bitcoin. Is that the thing to do nowadays? But I don't know. Also, was that no the day 2 days before that? I performed for the what was it called? KNAR conference at Mystic Lake Casino. It's a group of professionals that work in the vocational rehabilitation services. I got to perform for them for their mid-year conference in Mystic Lake Casino, which was I was kind of worried about that because I always worry before I go on any show I do. I'm always worried. I hate to travel the day of because I'm afraid my car would break down, which I'll get to that later. So we went down there. Me and my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter came down with me. My oldest daughter and my son were already in Minneapolis. My son was spending the week down there. So we took off Wednesday morning. Later than usual, as I wanted to. Later than I wanted to because I usually like to be on the road by at least 9 if I have to travel for a show. Especially Minneapolis is about 5 hours, 4.5 if you don't stop. So we left down there, got out of here about 10:30, I think. And I was a nervous wreck because I'm always paranoid something's going to happen to the vehicle on the way to a gig and I won't be able to make my gig. But we made it down there, okay. One piece. Stayed at the beautiful Mystic Lake Casino. I haven't stayed there since the Warriors went to state last year, and it's a beautiful facility. Love the rooms. I don't know if I ate there. Did I eat? No, I didn't eat there because I didn't have any money. That's the thing about being a comedian. It was an off payday week, so I had minimal funds to get down there. I had enough for gas, enough for us to eat, and enough to check in my room. So we were on scraps until I got my check. I know I should prepare for emergencies like that, but I'm terrible with money. I'm like a little kid, impulsive when I have money. 42 years old, and I'm still very financially irresponsible. My credit is shit. I don't think I'll ever get it to where it needs to be. So for the past, 10 years or so, I've been pretty much cash everything. But since I start working again, they made me get a checking account because of direct deposit. So they forced that on me. Forced me to the white man's way, colonized or assimilated. So I had to do that. But I have my checking account, but I don't have checks because I act like Carlos Slim when I have checks. I feel like I'm rich, but I'm not. Anyway, made it down there. Got down there about 4:30. No, it was earlier than that because we beat the rush hour traffic. Got down there about 3:30. Yeah. Checked into the room, and my son and oldest daughter came over to us, visited us. They went to the Dakota Sports Recreation for a few hours while I prepared and got ready, got showered, checked in the conference about 6:30. No, about 6 o'clock. And they wanted me there by 7:15, so went to the Mystic Lake, just roamed around there, killed some time, got back to the conference at 7:15, checked in, and as I was they wanted me to fix the plate, but I can't eat before I go on because I might puke all over the stage, so I respectfully declined the free meal. I never eat before I go on. I can't because it get too miserable. So I didn't eat. So I was sitting there waiting to go on, and they had this happened to me before. They had a memorial for their president that passed away recently. So that was kind of awkward to sit there while they had their memorial going on, and the family came up, and it must have been recently because they were still mourning, and you could tell it was, an important lady, because the family was really shaken by it. And so I sat there, waited for, it was like over an hour before they wanted me to go on, and it was made it happen though, man. We made it happen. Memorial that happened to me at a conference in Black Bear Casino. It was one of the housing conferences I did, and they had a memorial for their board members that passed away during the year. So I'm an expert in following in memoriam tributes, so I knew what to expect. My first joke, I forgot what it was, but it went well. And after that, the crowd, it was amazing how into my act the crowd was. It was like everything was just clicking, man. Everything I said. And I was on one of them, it was a lectern things there. It felt like I was doing a roast, or the White House Correspondents' Dinner, sitting at one of them lectern desk speech things. So that's what it felt like, and I like that feeling. It felt like I was hosting a roast or a White House Correspondents' Dinner. But everything went well. My jokes translated to the people from all over the country, from Alaska, Florida, Louisiana, everywhere, across the country. They dug it, man. They dug this Ojibwe kid from northern Minnesota. Well, I'm not a kid anymore, but I like to say I am because it sounds cooler when I'm trying to emphasize. So anyway, but yeah, they dug everything I was talking about, man. And it just went well and firing on all cylinders. I had that I had that rush coming off the stage, man, and that's one of the best things about comedy, is having that rush coming off the stage. And it all went to plan, according to plan. And I got an email from the organizer. She sent me keep it clean, because some of the people are offended by lewd comedy. I was like, lewd? It made me sound like a Dice Clay up or something. I touch on, well, maybe not even sense. I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I'm up there and I don't know what I say most of the time. But I kept it clean. I didn't swear once. I said B word one time, but everything else went pretty well. So hopefully I get a call from them, or else word of mouth, which is keeping my comedy career alive. People saying, sharing, they enjoyed my act, and hopefully that has some more gigs somewhere along the line. So, but right now I don't have anything until November. I'm working on something big here, trading messages, emails, and trying to return calls, but nothing solid yet. So hopefully something comes up. But that was my comedy journey. Was it last week? That was the week before. June 27th was when I went. My beer cans, it's not beer cans, it's lemonade. Yeah, I got back that Thursday evening, and then the big storm came Friday morning and then knocked us on our ass. There's pictures on my Facebook and my Instagram at the Johnny R. Or is Instagram at the Johnny R? I don't know. Instagram is at the Johnny R. Twitter at the Johnny R. What else was there? Facebook is at the Johnny R. But I don't put anything on my fan page, my comedy page. I also have a website that I don't even use. I pay for. I don't use. It's johnnyrcomedy.com. I also have my email, johnnyrcomedy@gmail.com. I have to get an email because all the young kids were making fun of me for having a Hotmail. I've had my one Hotmail since 06, and I've had another one since 08. So It was time to get with it, Gramps. So I got a Gmail, JonnyRComedy@gmail.com. JONNY. It's not JOH. And JONNY. Johnny R. Comedy. JONNYR Comedy.com. At the Johnny R. The THEJONNNYR. I'm confusing everybody. It's at the Johnny R. Never mind. But anything else? It's just, living life, staying busy with the kids, staying out of trouble. I was tempted to go out last night, but I didn't. Stayed home, watched UFC 226, which I was happy to see Cormier win, but also disappointed in Miocic lose. I don't want to. It was hard to see either of those two lose. They were a couple of my favorites. Real humble champions. You don't see that very much anymore. Because humble champions don't sell tickets. So that's probably why they brought Lesnar in. I don't know if any of you watched that last night. Spoiler alert. Brock Lesnar came in and challenged Cormier. Well, actually, Cormier challenged Brock, so that was pretty cool. And so it sounds like it's November for their matchup now. So it'll be good to see. Scared for Cormier, but Brock is Brock, man. He's a scary individual. But that Ngannou and Lewis fight before, quite possibly the worst heavyweight fight ever in the history of. I know in the history of UFC, but I don't know about any other ones. But that was just horrible. It's like Ngannou and Miocic ruined each other. They must have beat the hell out of each other so bad. Actually, Miocic was putting up a good fight. He had a good fight plan there, but Cormier is too smart. I like that. They're trying to explain how he set it up with the underhook, but I don't get all that stuff. But when he Miocic released from the underhook, he backed up, and that's when Cormier got him. He had that set up through the whole fight. I don't understand all that, but it sounds like I do. I really don't. So, but yeah, that Lewis and Ngannou was just horrible. All they did was dance. I'm embarrassed. Ngannou must have been pretty shaken up by Miocic when he beat him in January. So, but I'm no expert, so I won't even bother. Anything else? Yeah, just stayed home last night, watched UFC. Typical day. We had Wednesday off for July 4th. We worked half a day, July 5th, and we got Friday, July 6th off for Red Lake Independence Day. And the week before that, I took Wednesday and Thursday off because I was down in the cities performing at the KNR conference. And then Friday, we had admin leave because the power was out all over Red Lake. So the last 2 weeks of work, I've actually only worked 4.5 days out of 10. So it's pretty good. Pretty good time away from the office, which in my line of business is good. For the mental part of it. It was a good time off. I enjoyed it. But back at it tomorrow, straight on through. I don't see any breaks coming up. I don't have any gigs planned, but I do have some leave built up, so I just might take a day off here within the next month or so. So I don't know. My life is pretty busy. All these kids here, raising all these kids because nobody else will. If we had a bigger house, we had a little more help, we would take in more kids, but it's just not physically possible right now. We trying to do our part, help this place get back to a good place. I was thinking about it. There are days where I struggle because we get so overwhelmed and busy, and a typical day for us is get up about 6:30 every day. Find clothes for the babies, the kids, and summertime it's a little easier because they only wear shorts and summer dresses. But we try to be out here by 8. Sometimes I'm out the door by a quarter to 8. No, yeah, about 10 to 8 I'm out the door, but it takes me so long to gather up all the kids, put them in the van, take them to daycare, unload. It's a lengthy process, and then I make it to work about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and do what I can at work. Sometimes the baby kid will get sick, so I gotta go home, or else I gotta go deliver Pampers or wipes or clothes, and then summertime my oldest kids are home and they need me to run to the store for them, or so my life is pretty much going back and forth, work, school, or work, daycare, work, home. Pretty much what I do. Most of my text messages I send are either okay or I'm on my way. Okay, I'm on my way. That's all I send. It's all my kids. That's my kids, man. They need me to run around for them. So that's what I do. And get home about 5. Summertime is awesome having these little ones because we can leave them outside. They can run themselves, get tired. But the mosquitoes are starting to get pretty thick again, so it's a battle to keep clothes on them when they're outside. They're all 4 and under, and they usually like to run around in just their underwear and pamper. I have 2 in Pampers right now, so it's not as bad as it used to be. There was a time I was up to, all 6 in Pampers maybe? Yeah, I was changing like 6 Pampers a day. 6 Pampers every 2 hours. Right? Yeah, 3 Pampers. Got up to about maybe 15 and 20 Pampers a day. No, it's more than that. Right? 36 Pampers a day. That was my life, but now I only have 2 in Pampers now, so having them home, make sure nobody gets hurt too bad because they're all pretty reckless. Get them inside 8:30, 9 o'clock. Actually, my wife does most of that, so my only thing is I use my booming voice to control the crowd. That's pretty much all I'm good for. And to catch them if they take off running. I'm not fast, but faster than them for now. So that's what we do. But anything else, I was just staying occupied, staying out of trouble, staying focused on life. That's what I do. Staying out of trouble. Behaving myself like a gentleman. I was thinking about that. How Red Lake is slowly deteriorating. The drugs, the addiction, the alcohol. These kids are learning bad habits at a young age. And, what can we do about something like that? And their parents being addicted, not being around for them to teach them right from wrong, and a lot of kids being born addicted might not be able to live a normal life. But I was thinking maybe everybody in Red Lake has to take a step back and look at what's happening. I see people out, traveling, going out on weekends, having a good time, and just, doing, living life, I suppose, which we're all allowed to do. And I think of what I'm doing. I see it as, being at home every weekend with my kids and we could go out with the kids, but it's kind of scary out there. But I don't want to teach them to be scared. But a lot of bad things could happen out there. So for now, we're all safe at home every weekend. But everybody that goes out, travels, and does their partying and having a good time. Maybe we should all stay in for a couple weekends. Look at our community. We could take some kids. Maybe even be foster parents. You got a lot of people have a lot of free time. They could help with this shortage of foster homes. Maybe the whole community can get involved, and they say it takes a village to raise a child or something. Was that how it goes? It takes a village, and we need a lot of help. Red Lake Nation needs a lot of help, and the only way to do that is for the community to come together, and not just for tragic events. It's good to see people come together, for funerals and tragedies, and see how the community help each other. But it needs to be more. I don't know how we can get to that point. Maybe we should stay in for a few weekends. Get out and help the people that need it. Help the kids. Learn what let them be kids, because a lot of these kids are, end up having to care for their younger siblings, and they don't know how to teach them right from wrong, because maybe nobody taught them. I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling, but it would be something for those that are able and willing to become foster parents. Just to do it, because we do need a lot of help in the foster care area. A lot of these kids don't have a mother or father figure to teach them right from wrong. A lot of kids running around late at night getting in trouble. But Daryl Seeker or Floyd Buck Jordan will fix that when they come in, right? Just got to believe in them. I don't know. I don't know about this election, but all I know, I'm voting for what I know. I growing up through junior high and high school, Floyd Buck Jordan was always there playing ball with us, hanging out, and he was always involved with drug abuse and chemical health, and always around the schools, so I got to know him there. Also took some college classes with him, and good guy, I believe. He does what's best for the community, despite all the rumors and mudslinging. And that's not saying anything negative about Daryl Seeky, but I don't really know him. I never, he's like a generation ahead of me. I think Buck's maybe 10 years older than I am, and Daryl Seeky is the next generation ahead of me, so older than me. So I never really got to know him, other than just how you doing, and how are things at the council, and nothing more than that. I don't know him at all, so just voting for what I know. That's all I can do. And as for treasurer, it's incumbent Annette Johnson against challenger Chad Prentice, and I'm going to vote for Chad Prentice because he's my brother, and we share a father, so that's why I'm voting for Chad. Family, gotta support your family. That's nothing negative against Annette Johnson. I'm not sure. I don't understand the everyday work of what a treasurer does, so I don't know if what's going on there. But I do know my brother, so that's why I'm voting for Chad. Vote Chad Prentice. He's raised, his mother and stepdad raised him pretty much in that Red Bee store over there, Westbrook store. He helped run it since he was, kid. Worked in there every day, and he now does the day-to-day operation. So he understands business, money, and how to take care, how to reinvest in the business. So he's got a good head on his shoulders, good family. So why not vote for Chad Prentice? Because he's my brother. So I hope you do too. Nothing against Annette Johnson, but I don't know her, but I do know my brother. So that's why I'm voting for him. And you should too. As for tribal secretary, incumbent Darwin Sumner against Sam Strong, and I really don't know how I'm going to vote for that. My stepdad played ball with Darwin, so I've known Darwin for a while, but not really close with Darwin. Though he does have a good guy. And Sam Strong, I don't really know Sam either, but I worked with him on. No, his dad. Yeah, got to know his dad. So I really don't know where I'm going to go with that one. So if you have any input for that, I'd like it. I'd appreciate it. But you think about maybe it's time for the young guys to step up. Give the young guys a shot at running. So maybe I'll vote for Sam. I don't know yet. The next generation. Give the next generation a shot. That's what I'm thinking. You? Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah. But yeah, that's where I'm at. What I'm doing. Got a day off from the kids last night, and all I did was nothing. Well, I cut my grass, which I'm always doing, but I don't know. That's all I got. So I'll be back when I get back.